Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this crowd tells me two things. One, how worried you all are about what's happening in Malaysia. But more importantly, number two, it tells me how much you care about this beloved nation of ours. And that, together with truth, is a powerful combination. It will win in the end. Now, what the country needs very badly and doesn't have is a statesman. That's really what is lacking. And I think if you asked our leaders who are now running the country what a statesman is, I don't even think they know what it means. It's a pity Datuk Saifuddin is not there because he comes pretty close to the definition of a statesman. Now, these are dark days, there's no doubt about it. And I think in the last 2 weeks, we have seen how low people can go. Starting with the removal of the Deputy Prime Minister, the AG, the MACC arrests, Zeti under, some form of intimidation, the crackdown that's been going on, people have been arrested left, right and center, the press has been attacked. I mean, all this not in the last 1 year, 1 week. 1 week. In the last 1 week, okay? I always thought that even UMNO had its limits, that UMNO may interfere here and there, but there were certain institutions they wouldn't touch, like Bank Negara, like the MACC, like the Attorney General. It's never happened before. But even UMNO. Well, let me put it this way. This is a new low, even for UMNO. Even for UMNO. And I know there are people who are unhappy in UMNO, and I echo what Datuk Saifuddin said. They're not going to listen to me, but, I echo what he says. It is time for you to speak up for the rakyat. The time has come. Now, let's get this right. First of all, let me just talk about the MACC arrests and the intimidation that Bank Negara seems to be facing. This, to me, is a dangerous trend, okay? Not only are they institutions, but when you attack institutions like Bank Negara and MACC, you are compromising the financial system in this country. And that's why I feel it's not just ordinary rakyat like us that must speak up. Captains of industry better stand up and say that they will not tolerate our financial system being attacked in this way. Can you imagine what it would look like if Zeti, for example, is removed or something? And Bank Negara, by the way, under the Act, the governor is appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, deputy governor by the Minister of Finance, etc., etc. Now, what is their purpose? The purpose of Bank Negara, amongst other things, is to ensure the integrity of our financial system. You start attacking them. I want to know which foreigner will come and bring their funds into this country. That's how much they are hurting us. And that has to stop. I always thought when it came to their pockets, they wouldn't do it. But I was wrong. I was wrong. And that's why I say this is a new law even for UMNO. And I'm not sure. Let me put it this way. They know not what they do. They know not what they do. They know not what they are unleashing upon the rakyat of Malaysia. And it's time they knew. It is time they woke up. Now, Datuk Saifuddin mentioned the MACC. I have the definition, by the way, of gratification. Okay? This whole spiel about donation, if it is true, I am not convinced, if it is true, is actually more problematic. They have used the word donation how many times? 100 times at least. Okay, let me tell you, in the definition of gratification under the Anti-Corruption Act, the MACC Act, it includes money, donation, okay, and then a lot of other things. If you had any sense, all right, if you were trying to spin a story to protect yourself, you would not use the word donation, because that is an immediate red flag. And let me tell you something else. There is a section under the Act, a presumption, Section 50 of the MACC Act, which says, where it is proved, under certain sections, where it is proved that any gratification has been received or agreed to be received, accepted or agreed to be accepted, obtained, blah, 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 the gratification shall be presumed to have been corruptly received or agreed to be received. There is a presumption. There is a presumption of corruption. So, which is why I think they have made it worse for themselves. Now, this is a legal opinion. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just reading the sections, and to me, whenever you use the word donation, red flags should appear in Bank Negara and certainly in the bank that received the funds. And don't forget, we have AMLA. Under AMLA, the bank has a duty to report such unusual sums of money. Did AmBank do that? I don't know. We don't know. Has Bank Negara investigated them? We don't know. Now they're saying no need for the task force. We're shutting it down. What are they shutting down? What are they shutting down? How can they shut down an investigation into 1MDB and all other related matters? How can they do that? So, this entire transaction, let's go back to when the news broke, when the Wall Street Journal broke it. What would a leader of a mature democracy do? He would immediately, not necessarily resign, but at the very least, he would go on leave. Because more than being Prime Minister, he is Minister of Finance. He is Minister of Finance giving orders to Bank Negara and all the agencies that have to investigate him. That is a conflict of interest. In this country, people don't understand conflict of interest. Not people. Our leaders don't understand. They don't understand concepts like conflict of interest. If ever there was a conflict of interest, this is it. This is it. And in a mature democracy, he would be asked to step aside until investigations are completed. So it was wrong from the it's been wrong from the very start. We have been living with this for the past 4 weeks. And then, what happens? And of course, what you fear, what we feared a person would do in this position of conflict, the Prime Minister did. He did exactly that. Interfere with the MACC, interfere with Bank Negara, etc., etc., etc. This arrest of these poor people who were doing their jobs, we really need to speak up about that. It is wholly unacceptable. They were honest people doing their jobs, and yet they are hauled up one of them is in jail for 7 days. This is unacceptable. And what are the people in government doing? Sitting there and talking about donation, donation, donation. They don't even care that this is happening to honest civil servants. And that is a crying shame. It's shame. Absolutely. It's embarrassing. Now, under Section 48, all right, and I think Azmin Ali said it today. Under Section 48, any person, all right, who obstructs any officer of the MACC is guilty of an offense. You cannot obstruct the work of the MACC. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, you can't. Of course, they'll say, we are investigating the leak. I don't know what leak they're talking about, because they say, they talked about the charges, they say the charges are false. Then what leak are you talking about? If that was all made up, what leak are you talking about? So they're going, and what they have done, from what I read, if I'm correct, they're seizing papers, they're seizing documents. Are they entitled to do that when there is an ongoing investigation? I don't think so. I don't think they can do that. So, are they exceeding their powers? Are the police exceeding their powers in doing that? These are really serious questions. But what I will tell you is this. From what I can see, the entire process in the past 4 weeks is potentially tainted with illegality from start to finish. Everything they're doing. And the chorus of donation, those singing donation, better watch it, because they are lending their name to these potential criminal offenses, which means they are complicit in it. They need to now look at the law. They are possibly breaching some very serious provisions in the MACC under AMLA, penal code even, by the way. There are several legislation that they could be in breach of. And if I were then, I would be very, very careful before they come out and make these rash statements that they are making right now. Now, I see that MACC appears to have, this is all from reports, spoken to one person or entity or whatever who donated. Am I right, Tony? It's just one. It's just one. One entity donated 2.6 billion. Now, that isn't just one red flag, that's 2.6 billion red flags that should go up. How dare they think they can say that and get away with it? And that is the problem. They've been getting away with it all this time. But I don't think they can get away with it for much longer. That's my reading of the situation. And the reason I say that is because the good civil servants who are under so much pressure now are still standing up to do the right thing. And I think we must stand up for them. Our top priority now should be, and we must come up with some ideas, we must protect these agencies. There must be a ring of protection around them so that they can carry on with their jobs. Somebody out there is not happy with the truth coming out. Somebody, I didn't say who. Okay? So